Hi, my name is Noel Davis with Wormiculture, and today we're going to try something a little different. I've noticed that since I've been adding more shredded cardboard to my bins that they've been a lot more dry. I've had to add a lot more water from the this little squirt bottle that I use, and I'm going to try to remedy that by actually wetting the cardboard that I've shredded. But I'm going to test some things out here, and we're going to see how it works. So let's go to what we're looking at here. So I've brought down a bucket of water. This is, I think, a 2 or 3 gallon bucket. I think it's 2. I think it's 2 gallons. And there's about 2 inches of water in the bottom here. Water's ready to be dumped in the worm bin if I had it in the bucket. But what we're going to try this time is I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but what I was thinking is taking handfuls of shredded cardboard and just dumping them in here. And what we're going to try to do is soak up all this water and make a wet slurry of cardboard that I can then add to the bins, because it's just, I can always add more cardboard to dry it, but I'm having a lot of issues with moisture in my bins now. They're just becoming way too dry. I can't add food fast enough, and it's becoming too much to manage this way. So this is what I'm going to try to do here. So what I'm going to do is add that. Now, I think this might be easier. I originally was thinking I'd use this to turn it, but this is just a little bit too big for this bin. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a glove here. I'm going to put a glove on. I'm going to mix it with using a glove. So that way I can kind of get in here, move around, get everything wet. The idea is to kind of soak up all this water into this cardboard. Cardboard is pretty absorbent, but I had quite a bit of water in here. So this is becoming kind of soft and wet. All right, now, since that's all wet, I'm going to add some more. And the idea is that I was trying to judge how much water I would need, but I might have added a little bit too much. But the idea is that I want to get all this cardboard moist before adding it to the bin this time. And then I might even dump this water in this one bin that I have, which is my master bin, the big bin that I use to really kind of control everything. So there's still a lot of water in here. It's turning a color of cardboard. This all feels wet. And I can do this, and then I can take this out and I could dump this in bins just like this. It's nice and soaking wet. It'd be good. This is a little bit too damp. You could kind of wring it out a little bit and then give it right to the worms. Now, with this, the cardboard's also going to collapse its structure a little bit, so it's not going to be quite as good at keeping air in. So maybe you want to mix this in with some dry cardboard as another way in your bins. So we're going to add some more in here. Get it underneath. We still, I probably added a little bit too much water to this. There's still a lot of water on the bottom. The stuff in the bottom is really sort of soaking. Add some more. If you can't tell, I'm adding huge handfuls here at a time, as much as I can grab. Rotating it right underneath all the new stuff. Still have a lot in here, but so this is looking pretty good. It's a little bit too much water. I probably could have added a little bit less, or maybe I could have dumped in water to this bin after I'd added all the cardboard to kind of soak it and then move it around. But if you can't tell, this is starting to get, I can squeeze a couple drops. So this is actually pretty good the way this feels. This is exactly the consistency you really want for worms. So I haven't done this in the past because usually the food overwhelms the cardboard that I'm adding, but ever since I started shredding cardboard, I found that I can just add a lot more. I've been able to maintain bug control by just putting on more cardboard on top. This is to try to remedy this dry situation I have in a lot of my bins. Some of them are getting better, but some of them are really bad. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to this. I'm going to dump this entire thing, including the water. This is how dry the bin is that we're using, including the water in that bin. So we're going to try to do that right now. So I'm going to move this over and bring the camera. Let's just see if we can see in here. It might be a little bit too low, but we're going to try this. So, this is my master bin here. This is the one that I really use a lot. And if you can't tell, this material on top is pretty dry. This is the one that I really, whenever I have a new bin or I'm making a new bin, this is what I use. I'm going to turn on a little flashlight here because this corner is a little dark. But this is all really dry. So it's drying up too much. It's to the point where where I've also taken all the stuff out of the bottom of this pretty much. So there's cardboard all throughout this bin, and it really needs to be moist, that way the worms can work all through it. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to dump this in right on top, including the water, because the water can seep down through and get some of the stuff wet, which is fine for me. Normally I wouldn't add this much water, but this bin can use it. So now, there's all the wet cardboard that we just had. We're just going to dump this right on top. This will give another layer that the worms can work in. Now, see, I mean, like, this isn't really that thick, this layer, but it's just there. Now, I'm not seeing any water come out the bottom, which is good, but even if it did, there's a slight lip. Now, let me just show you one other thing here, that this is all stuck with cardboard. I'm going to use my hand, and I'm going to scrape all of this out, because you don't want to leave wet cardboard around, because wet cardboard is that is not going to have worms around it. It just soaks up mold. So you really, really, really want to be careful with this stuff. You don't want to just leave wet cardboard around your house. In the bins, it's okay. The worms should eat the mold and the bacteria growing on it, but around your house, leaving wet cardboard is just a really bad idea. So there we go. That's all in there now. So this is empty. And really, that's my update for today. So we added the cardboard to this bin. This already has quite a bit of food in it. I've already added watermelon rinds and things like that, and that's how I kind of maintain this bin. Usually this bin has a ton of worms in it, and you'd be able to see them, I'd be able to dig them up, but it's just not the case right now. It's just way too dry. They've all migrated down. I really need to add more moisture to this bin at least. Some of my other ones are okay, but this one especially, and then the coffee ground one, which you guys have seen, is normally kind of dry. So that's my update for this week. I think this is what I'm going to start doing with my cardboard, unless I get too much moisture, in which case I can always add dry cardboard. And as I said, you can always mix this. So I could add dry cardboard on top and then mix it all together, and that way you have a variety, which might be good too. So I hope you enjoyed this update, and that's it for today. Thank you.